Today we will show how to install jointed linear guide rails. When the required rail length exceeds the maximum rail length, two or more rails will be joined together. Each rail has identification marks. M2 indicates the reference rail, and the arrow shows the reference surface. Rails with the same number belong to the same set. Install them in the order A, B, and C. Let's start assembly. Remove the carriage using a dummy rail. Clean the rail bottom, joint surfaces, and mounting base. Place the jointed reference rails on the mounting surface in order. Tighten the first and last bolts of the first rail section with about 10% torque. Make sure the bolts are centered in the counterbores. Insert a shim between the two rails. Select the shim thickness according to the rail size. Use a 0.02 mm shim for size 25 and below, and 0.03 mm for above 25. Using about 10% torque, lightly tighten the first and last bolts of the second rail. Move the shim back and forth while slightly adjusting the second rail. A slight resistance means the gap is correct. This helps prevent interference or misalignment at the rail ends if bolts loosen, while also allowing for thermal expansion during use. Install the remaining rails in the same way. After installation, tighten all rail bolts sequentially to about 10% torque for the first pass. Tighten all rail bolts sequentially to about 10% torque for the first pass. After tightening the wedges, tighten all rail bolts again in sequence to about 50% torque. Reinstall the carriage using the dummy rail. Check the ball groove accuracy at the joint. 4P grade, ball groove deviation at the joint should stay within 3 microns. At this point, the installation of the reference rail is completed. Install the driven rail using the same procedure. After installation, check the rails like a full-length rail. Once the inspection is passed, tighten all bolts sequentially to 100% of the specified torque.